JDev is back at it here to give everyone another Walking Dead Season 6 episode review video. But before I get into that, it's extremely important, if you're not caught up to the point where I am in rewatching or watching The Walking Dead, for you to take the initiative to pay attention to the episode title. I'll even put that title name in the description for you. If that's the case and you find out that you're not caught up, I suggest, and so does everybody else, that you don't watch this video any further to stay away from any potential spoilers. This will be The Walking Dead Season number 6, episode number 10. The title of this episode is called The Next World. This will be my review, reaction, recap of the episode. And keep in mind, it's an episode I've seen before many times, just reviewing it to have it reviewed on my channel. And I'm reviewing all these episodes of The Walking Dead due to the fact that they announced that Season 11 of The Walking Dead will be the final season of the main Walking Dead show. Not necessarily the end of the Walking Dead story. After the passing of 2 months, the walls of the Alexandria safe zone have been repaired and expanded, and the residents are living in a seemingly normal lifestyle. Rick and Daryl are about to go on a supply run. Michonne asks Rick for some spearmint and baking soda toothpaste, while Denise requests a specific soft drink so she can surprise Tara. And then Eugene maps out a nearby agricultural supplier, which could improve the dwindling food supply. Eugene's research leads Rick and Daryl to a truck that is filled with food, ammunition, and other supplies, including a case of toothpaste. There's what they needed, too. I would love to have toothpaste in a zombie apocalypse. A whole shitload. I already have a whole shitload as it is. They drive the truck along a different route to the return of Alexandria and stop at a gas station to loot a fallen vending machine. As they struggle to break into it, a long-haired masked man, not necessarily masked, but with face covering, so he was ready for the pandemic in 2016, runs into Rick, claiming that he's running from a group of walkers. They all lie about not having a camp, and after Rick introduces himself and Daryl, the man removes his mask and gives the name Paul Rovia, which should have been Paul Monroe. In the comics, it was Paul Monroe, but because Deanna and Reg were Monroe, they made it Paul Rovia, but tells him his friends call him Jesus. So a comic book character has arrived. The debut of Jesus. My only complaint with Jesus, the actor's like 5'4" or 5'5", 5'6", when the actor should have been closer to 6 feet tall. Just a minor detail there. I mean, I guess he didn't have to be 6 feet tall, but he's so short compared to everybody else. I mean, they do a good job of not letting you know that he's short, but he certainly is short. But anyway, Rick starts to ask him the 3 recruitment questions, despite Daryl's objections. But Jesus decides to run off, and then Rick and Daryl hear noises from behind the gas station and, forewarned of an approaching walkers, decide to investigate, only to find firecrackers popping. Realizing that Jesus tricked them and pickpocketed the truck's keys from Rick, they sprint back to see Jesus driving the truck away, dragging the vending machine behind it. And then Rick and Daryl pursue him on foot, eventually coming across the vending machine. Daryl, of course, breaks it open and obtains the drink requested by Denise, Orange Crush. I'm a fan of Orange Crush, too. As they catch their breath, Rick expresses his positive views on bringing more people into Alexandria, which at one point he was completely against. Like at the prison, he didn't want no one else in there, and now Rick has actually changed his tune. After a couple of months of not much happening, he's like, okay, we need to do this. We need to have more people around. But later, the two catch up to the truck and find Jesus repairing a tire. They attack Jesus, who holds his own against the two of them until subdued at gunpoint. Rick leaves Jesus tied up loosely on the side of the road, believing he could free himself once they're gone. When they drive across a field at the next farm, Rick and Daryl actually hear bumping on the truck's roof, and Rick rapidly brakes to send Jesus toppling from the top of the truck. So Jesus somehow, someway got on top of their truck when he was tied up at the side of the road. I guess it's plausible he could have caught up to the truck and climbed it when they let him go, but I don't know. Anyway, Jesus runs and Daryl jumps out to pursue him while Rick parks the truck near a lake and kills a few stray walkers. Jesus gets into the driver's seat as Daryl fights him. Jesus actually grabs Daryl's handgun and tells him to look down. And Daryl's like, what? And he does it. And Jesus actually shoots an approaching walker, saving Daryl's life. So he saved Daryl's life. And then Daryl pulls Jesus from the truck, which set into neutral after he punched him, and begins rolling backwards. And then, I guess Jesus is struck on the back of the head by the truck's door, knocking him out as the truck rolls into the lake and submerges. So all that shit they needed, gone. I'd be crying. I really would. And then meanwhile in the episode, we also have Carl and Enid who venture out in the woods. They come across a balloon with a legible note, and Enid is hopeful about other people, but Carl says they're probably dead already. They sit together, and Enid confesses that she doesn't like being out there anymore. On their way back, Carl spots a walker and attracts its attention to kill it, but when they see who it is, Carl stops why Enid wants to kill it. The two argue about it, and then Carl sends Enid back to Alexandria. So all of a sudden, Enid's not as, I don't know, who knows what's going on there. And then as Michonne is patrolling the newly erected wall, she spots Spencer, who's going into the woods alone with a shovel, and sends after him. They walk through the woods, and Michonne spots Carl running and sees a lone walker, which is revealed to be a turned Deanna. With Michonne's assistance, Spencer grabs the walker and buries. Spencer stabs the walker and then buries it eventually with a large D carved onto a tree to mark the grave. That night, Michonne confronts Carl about not killing the walker. He believes walkers should only be killed by someone who had loved them in life. When he tells her he would do it for her, Michonne embraces him. And then Rick and Daryl return to Alexandria with an unconscious Jesus, whom they have tied up in a room. Rick and Michonne sit together on the couch in their living room. As they laugh and they talk about their days, they soon begin holding hands, and then all of a sudden, Rick and Michonne start kissing. So Rick has this Rick has this brief relationship with Jesse, who he kissed and was, it seemed like everything was going to go that route. And then Jesse, Sam, and Ron all die in the same episode. And then 2 months later, Rick's already ready to replace her with Michonne. And then later that night, Rick and Michonne are naked, sleeping in bed, and they slept together. When a voice is heard calling Rick's name, Michonne and Rick leap up and grab their weapons as the speaker is revealed to be Jesus, who apparently got away and is standing at the foot of the bed and says they need to talk. And that is the end of the episode. So the episode is a bit cartoonish, in my opinion, with Daryl and Rick chasing Jesus around. But it's not bad. The stuff with Enid and Carl, like all of a sudden Enid changing her tune. I guess maybe the stuff that Glenn had talked to her about got to her. But I don't like it when characters turn just like that. As far as a score of this episode, I'd probably give it an 8.1 out of 10. And then the character of the episode, well, you know what? Let's do something different. We're going to give it to Jesus, because Jesus was pretty good, although, again, cartoonish, and it was bullshit that truck that they did so much to get ended up, sinking in the lake. That's very unfortunate. So you've heard what I have to say. Now it's your turn. So if you're a fan of The Walking Dead and you like this episode, The Next World from Season 6, then go ahead and smash the like button. Or if you're just a Walking Dead fan in general, if you want to share the video with anybody that you think would be interested in watching this, do that. Don't forget to leave me a comment in the comments section. My glasses keep falling off. About your thoughts on the episode, your character of the episode, your score of the episode, or if you just want to talk about your favorite Walking Dead episodes in general, or your least favorite, or both, and then your favorite characters or least favorite characters. Whatever you want to talk about, we can do that. Don't worry about spoilers. If you're watching these videos and you haven't seen The Walking Dead yet, well, shame on you. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.